Hey, what's up, everyone? We're back once again.
Fluffy couples,
Oh yeah, lucky couple.
Jesse, Yolanda.
We're gonna try to make this as quick as possible. We just came back, maybe a few days ago. Excuse me, from
Siem Reap, Cambodia.
Angor Wat, and so we
Angor Wat is north of Siem Reap.
and we wanted to put out something that we wish people would have said in the videos we watched before we went.
Yes.
All right, so number one, Angor Wat is huge. Angor Wat is a temple, but it's also the area in which,
Of different
like
other temples.
like all these interconnecting temples that can be a mile or 2 miles away.
Yeah.
So when you go to Angor Wat, it is not just one temple. As a matter of fact, it
Although it's the main temple that you see and is on the flag, the country's flag.
It is 11 temples. It is 11 temples in Angor Wat.
Mm.
I hope that clarifies
And
some things.
it's different terrain.
Yeah.
So if you want to see some, you'll be climbing a mountain.
So there are 3 tickets you can get: the 1 day, the 3 day, and the 7 day.
Yes.
We did the 1 day. It was $37
It was
$37.
American dollars.
Yes. We'll make a video about the currency later. Okay, $37. And if you ask me, is the 1 day sufficient? I'm gonna tell you yes.
I would say no.
All right, she says no.
Because, people, well, we can get that later, but people with, I have knee problems. So I wish I could have more than 1 day.
So we'll hash that out now. Okay, so I say 1 day. And I say 1 day, even if you wanna walk it, you can walk the whole thing in 1 day, I think. If you start, it opens at 5:30 in the morning, or either 5 or 5:30, and closes at either 5 or 5:30. But you can stay later, you just can't enter earlier.
Yeah.
All right. So with those parameters, you can walk it.
You can walk it if you just want to view it, see it, like if you're in a mall and you're window shopping and you're just walking by. Yeah, you can do it.
No.
But if you want to see the other things, like if you like seeing all the things that's on the walls and, architecture things and cultural things, and yeah, you're going to take, he went through it faster than I did.
Yeah. So I'm gonna caveat off of that. That's sort of my thinking too. If you're there for the history, or you want to look at all the graphics and dive into them and decipher them and know the history, then yes, you would need more than 1 day. If you're walking through and you want to say, oh man, that's really neat right there, and you want to click a picture
And then
and then
go to the next one.
yeah, then you can make it in a day.
Yeah. Although we only did 3 temples, but but that was only half a day. That was from 5:30.
6. We didn't get that till like 6.
Well, close to 6 to
12:30.
12:30.
Yeah.
So we did 3 temples in that morning. So I don't know about the rest.
All right. I think we're getting off topic. I wanted to be short. I apologize, but it might drag out. Okay, so we talked about how big it is. We talked
Yes.
about
There-
ticket prices.
Yeah, and the distance between each varies. Like some may be shorter than others. You can see one along the way of another.
Yeah, and so my big thing was there was like 5 big temples I wanted to go to, 4 or 5. But in between those 4 or 5, there are smaller, and those 5 were more put together. They hadn't crumbled as much, so there was more there to see, and they had their specific thing they were known for. So I wanted to see those. So we started in Angor Wat, of course. Oh, if you get a tourist guide, you're going to be there longer. You have to factor that in.
Yeah.
Because they're going to take you again through the history and point out all these different things. For us, we did the Angor Wat tourist guide. And
Only
yeah.
for Angor Wat.
I think if you have a temple you want to know more about, you might want to grab a tour guide for that specific temple. Other than that, like I said, you want to go in there and look at all the cool stuff and marvel.
And you can negotiate prices with them. Don't just take their word for it or even show them your money.
She learned. Okay, all right. Let's see.
So just be aware you can negotiate. If you want a tour guide for all of them, you can negotiate that. You can negotiate for just the one.
All right. So we're finna tackle that too. Tour guides, getting around, and why I say the one day. Now there are 4 ways to get around Angor Wat. You can walk, you can bike, you can rent a scooter, or you can rent a tuk-tuk. All right, the walking self-explanatory. You can walk.
Or Grab. A lot of people took Grab cars.
Well, okay, 2. I'm talking about any.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, you can do that too. Yeah. So we'll say 5, because we grabbed inside of Angor Wat itself, but we grabbed the tuk-tuk. So, if you get there at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30, nothing is open. None of the bike shops are open, none of the scooter shops are open. So if you want to do that, you're either going to have to grab or do a tuk-tuk or walk. Now, getting around Angor Wat, once it opens, and we can't tell you what time these shops open because we got there at 5:30 and everything was closed.
Yeah.
When we're leaving, everything was open. There is a scooter shop. No, a bike shop. As soon as you get into Angor Wat.
To the main gate.
Yeah.
The main gate.
The west gate. The Angor Wat gate. And we'll talk about that too. As soon as you get in the Angor Wat gate, right on the inside, as soon as you pass the entrance, they take your ticket. It's off to your left. Right before the entrance is a scooter shop that rents out electric scooters.
That it would be more optimal.
To me, if you want to do, you don't want to pay. I think that the tourist guides start at like $15. If you can talk them down, but their price is like 15. If you just want to go and see, take the scooter, and you'll be just fine. If you want to ride a scooter, and let me caveat that in Siem Reap, it is illegal for tourists to rent scooters. However, businesses being what they are, they're getting smarter. And they have scooters now with pedals, so it's a bike.
Like electric bike, quote unquote.
And you can get those back in Siem Reap and ride them out to Angor Wat. That way you don't have to take a tuk-tuk or a Grab. You can ride your scooter all the way. I think he said it had up to 60-kilometer range on one battery.
And then they have a person there at one of the temples that can exchange the battery for you.
Right.
For free.
All right. Other than that, the tuk-tuk. You can also catch a tuk-tuk back in Siem Reap. And they will act as your tour guide and spend the day with you for $15, I think is what most of them said. So for $15, they will pick you up at your hotel or wherever you catch them at, take you to Angor Wat, take you to the big temples, not to every temple, but to the big temples, and show you around. You might be able to negotiate some more temples if that's what you want to see. So I would, if it was me, I would do the scooter or the tuk-tuk. Once you in Angor Wat, if you started out, like we started out walking, then I went back and I rented bicycles.
And these are not very good bicycles.
Remember, so the bicycle, everything was closed because we got there at 5:30. So there was a guy in there. He said, "Hey, I got some bicycles." And so I rented 2 bicycles from him. They did not have brakes.
But his did not have brakes. And the seats were very uncomfortable.
And you couldn't lock them. Now, we didn't have any problem with thieves or anything.
Yeah.
But everywhere you go, Cambodians will tell you, look, lock everything because we have a lot of thieves here. We never had that problem, and except for those 2 bikes, everything they gave us locked. So if your scooter, it locks up. Everything locks up. And they would tell you, don't leave your scooter, always pay for security. Always park in the security place when you leave your scooter.
Where there's a security person is.
All right, back to Angor Wat. Okay, tickets, 37. For me, 1 day. For her, 3 days, depending on how you're getting around. Tuk-tuk, scooter, bike, or walk. I think you can do all of them in a 1 day and be fine. She says you might need 3 days. I think 3 days.
That's if you really want to look at like all the intricate carvings and stuff that's on the walls, and you actually want to take time to look around. Morning time is the best time to go look at these, because once you get to 10 o'clock and further, that's when you start getting the crowds come in, and then everybody is trying to do what I call glamour shots everywhere. And so you're gonna spend like 15 minutes just to take a picture of one of the main things.
So you have Snapchat. You have those Instagram famous people looking for those Instagram famous photos, and they will spend 15 minutes at the site where everybody's in line to take a picture.
Posing.
They're not leaving till they get that perfect picture. So that line would just back up, wait on this 1 or 2 people.
And then you get your groups, your tour groups coming in, and then you have those.
Yeah,
so yeah, morning time I would say would be good.
True.
So
I back that claim.
Angor Wat, they tell you that the must thing to do is for sunrise. Unfortunately for us, there was clouds, so the sunrise I mean, you could tell the sun was rising, but you couldn't see the sun. So, so it wasn't very a thing that we,
Yeah. Did we say that it was big?
Yeah, it was
okay.
big. Oh, we didn't say how big. We just said, you didn't say exactly.
I want to say the whole thing is like 400 acres, give or take. But then you have to add in the roads. So from Angor Wat to the next temple, we rode the bike. It was like 2.7 miles, I think.
One of it was like a mile or something.
So that adds to it. I would say if you're gonna walk or bike, you're probably gonna have a 20-mile day. That's where you should judge that. And that's going all to the temple then coming back. Oh, the entrance. This may seem silly. But once we bought tickets and got our little pamphlets, we didn't look at it. And me, I'm thinking, well, where you buy your ticket is where you enter at, because that's normally how things work. But you buy your tickets, the entrance is like 3 miles away. So
most of the time if you tell Tuk-Tuk you want to get tickets for Angor Wat, they know where to go. Because they already knew where to go with us. So if we were going the wrong way to get tickets.
Yeah, just make sure you don't make that mistake. All right, it's huge. The ways to get there, we said you can rent the bikes, the scooters,
I mean, a lot of people did rent bikes.
Yeah, some people.
But they had better bikes.
Yeah, they were much better bikes.
So there's a lot of people that did have bikes and did bicycle around.
And it's a nice bike ride.
Yeah.
It's a
long way. Yeah,
make sure you have a good bike.
Yeah. Oh, and make sure you have water.
Yeah.
A lot of water to sustain the day.
In hindsight, I would have done the tuk-tuk just because of the ease of getting around and having, if I wanted someone there for the questions, if I had questions about a temple, they could answer them. However, like I said, once you get on Angor Wat, we use Grab a lot, and so you can grab a tuk-tuk, grab a car, grab a motorcycle, and Grab is the app, like a taxi,
Uber,
yeah, like Uber.
Like
So-
Uber.
You just put it in there, and they're all sitting outside of each temple anyway. They just pick you up and take you to the next one. And they always try to get you to not use Grab. They say, "I'll wait."
Or I'll do same price as Grab. I'll do
Yeah.
same price.
I'm like, you don't know how much it is. Okay. So we wish someone would have told us how big it was. We wish someone would have told us about the scooters and stuff like that. What is something we wish they would have told us?
How long it was? Like we spent 2 hours in Angor Wat with the tour guide.
Yeah, we didn't know it was.
As big as it was.
It is big.
I mean,
It
it's
is
big.
It's big.
Angor Wat by itself is big.
And you don't know what will be closed when you get there. And I guess that goes for anywhere.
Well, we went during the holiday of King Father's death.
So on that holiday, the day before, parts of Angor Wat was closed. The temple Angor Wat.
Day before we went,
Yeah.
it was closed.
The day we went, the temple with all the faces, the top floor was closed. So you could only go to the second floor. You couldn't go above that.
I mean, but you could still go around it and see the temples with the faces on it.
Let's see. I think that's about it. So now you know. Oh, prices for the motorcycles / scooters / bike. They have power assisted bikes, which I do not recommend. Power assisted is you still have to pedal. It just kind of helps you pedal. Those are $5 a day. The scooters, the electric scooters with the bike pedals, but you ride it like a scooter. Those are $10 a day. And then the tuk-tuk, like I said, he was $15 all
For
day.
all day.
Yeah, for all day.
Which, you're going to be walking a lot, so I would kind of agree with him. The tuk-tuk would have been good because you're exerting yourself to walk around all these for like a couple hours. Like Angor Wat, we did a couple hours with tour guide. So then you got to get on a bike and then go a mile and a half or a mile something, 2 miles.
So we said they take you to the temple, but they can only get so close. It's like, man, from where they drop you off at Angor Wat to the Angor Wat temple, there's probably 2 or 3 football fields that you have to walk. The next one, it wasn't that far. And then the third one was again, probably 2 or 3 football fields you had to walk to get there. So, you factor all that in. Let's see. There's food and drinks pretty much at every temple. Every big temple.
Not precisely at
Where
the
the
temple.
not always where the tuk-tuks drop you off at either.
Yeah, it's like
But-
sometimes it's in between or sometimes it's like off to the side, but it's not.
But with that said, you can bring your own food and water.
Which a lot of people did, because around when we were leaving, there's a lot of people on the side of the road eating.
And I recommend it, especially the water part. It wasn't hot, but it was hot.
It was humid. It was humid. If you're not used to humidity, if you're not from Florida or somewhere where it's always humid, bring a towel, bring water, because you're going to be sweating.
Let's see. Shorts. We wore our shorts, right?
Yeah.
They want your shorts to be knee length, like that. Longer shorts, not short shorts. Long shorts. If you have the long shorts, you're fine to go into all the temples.
Like Angor Wat, you don't actually go in the temple, so you're fine like wearing this. But if you want to go into any of the temples, a woman has to be covered. Like a t-shirt like this would be fine, or you have a shawl, be fine. And as long as your shorts is below your knees or knee level, you're fine.
Alright. Is that it? We hope this helps someone. We talked about the sign, we talked about the scooters, food, tickets. We said the one price was $37. The 3 day I think is like
$70, like
70.
60, it's like 60 something dollars.
Yeah. And then the week, I don't know, like 100 and some, I think. But
And like I said, this is US dollars. They use US dollars in Cambodia.
alright.
Yeah.
Do I think it's worth the $37? Without a doubt. I think it's worth the $37. It was one of those tourist spots that I can say you should go see. And I don't say that about every tourist spot, because a lot of them ain't worth the time. But that one, I had a good time with that one. It was neat. It was something to remember, and I'm glad I did it.
Now for those, I just want to put in there, add those with bad knees. I have bad knees. I'd say take your time. There's a lot of, the stairs aren't high, but still they're high steps. Well, for me, they're high steps. So you're gonna be really pounding on your knees. So I'd bring really good shoes and take your time and rest when you need to rest, and think you will be good.
Okay. All right, people. Hope that helped you. And we'll see you when you see. We'll see you.
To the next one.
Let me turn off. Oh.
Now they can see you go.